Unfortunately for the New York Rangers, who were an amazing story this time last year with a trip to the conference final, are headed home after a 7-game series against the Devils. They go out at the deadline, they get Patty Kane, they get Tarasenko, they make the big splashes, and then they're gone after one round of playoff hockey. How do you guys see it? What ultimately did them in, or what went wrong for the Rangers?
By the end of the series, to me, they look like a collection of players and not a team. And they played against a team that really stayed together when the boat started rocking. Everybody, the coaching staff, the management group, they're all on the same page. And they were able to turn things around in a series that you knew was going to be really close anyway. And when they did that, the Rangers didn't really have an answer, Brian. They didn't make adjustments, and it seemed like they got further and further away from it by the time it ended. And in Game 7, it was really one-sided.
It was one team that was going to do anything to win every puck battle, every shift, and another team that was just kind of waiting for the big play to happen. I thought it was the guys that they brought in are unbelievable players.
Yeah.
And you're the New York Rangers, you go and get Patrick Kane, you get Vladimir Tarasenko, right? Okay. What did the Leafs do? They went out and got Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, he's got accolades.
Yeah.
And they got Luke Schenn, who's not going to blow the doors off offensively, but they got what they needed.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you need those guys? I mean, I guess
they had top 6 forwards. Like to me, I think they're a team. When I look at their group, and like they have tremendous players. And in another scenario, I mean, maybe they get an overtime goal in Game 3 and they win the series. But when I look at it, I think they have 9 top 6 forwards.
Yeah.
You know, because those 3 kids, that kid line, those are high draft picks. Those are kids that were drafted into the league really to be top 6 type forwards. So when you have 9 top 6 forwards, they had a really good 4th line, but there's only so many minutes for those guys. And in moments in that series, they were the most effective players because they just chipped the puck in and tried to play simple hockey. Too much east-west, not enough north-south.
Yeah, and yeah, to your point, exactly. That was how it kind of went down. I didn't like the recipe, and I didn't like there wasn't any adjustment. Yeah. You saw early in the series, Jersey it looked like a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in a while. It didn't have experience. They iced the puck a lot. They were trying to go north. That's all they were trying to do.
That's all they ever want to do.
And they iced it a lot. It was kind of like, what are they doing? And then the Rangers and I thought it was going to be one-sided series the whole way. Things were kind of coming easy for the Rangers. When it got hard, and you think the experience, these guys are going to dig in, they didn't dig in enough. And they didn't do it often enough. Some of them did. I know Chris Kreider had multiple goals in the power play. He was doing his best. He didn't like his Game 7. I don't think anybody did for him. Yeah. But he's going to be back. You need more guys to get into the kind of the grind.
It's the mix. Last year they had Andrew Kopp. They had
But earlier in the show, right?
Frankie Vetrano. He was a pain in the neck every night.
Earlier in the show, right? We talked about Seattle, and you talked about everybody understanding their role on the team and how they were all going to accomplish the goal together, right?
Yeah.
Do you think when you have a collection of superstar players, Kane, Tarasenko, Kreider, Mika, I mean, the list goes on and on for the Rangers, when they fail to win a series that everyone pegged them to win, where does the blame fall?
Well, I don't know if everybody pegged them to win because there were a lot of people that picked the Devils. And I thought it was going to be a close series. But you're right. I mean, they were a team that went to the Final Four last year, so we thought they had a great chance to rely on their experience, rely on a world-class goalie who, oh, by the way, played really well. Yeah.
He was their best player.
And gave them
start to finish.
Gave them every chance to win that series still, despite being outplayed basically for the last 5 games of the series. I just think the mix, in the end, the mix was not what you need to win a Stanley Cup. There weren't enough of those, they didn't really have a third line. They had 3 top 2 lines. They didn't have that kind of third line. The 4th line was good, but didn't get to play a lot because there's only so much ice time to begin with. And they had Patrick Kane. They brought him in. He wasn't even on the first power play. That's how many guys they got by the end of the series. He was on the second power play. So I think the mix wasn't great. And in the end, they ran up against a team that if they would have had a different match in the first round, maybe they find a way to win and build some momentum. But it just wasn't going to happen. The Devils wouldn't let them. And give the Devils credit for just being tight and staying the course and making adjustments. Great job by the Devils.
Yeah, they did all those things. But the chemistry was off. Something was off. And you can't have 3 first lines and then a 4th line that it's like, all right, go so those guys can rest.
Yeah.
Or go because we haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
Like you said, that was a great point. Kopp and Vetrano, the guys that maybe they couldn't really sign, but it was like I don't know.
The mix was a little better.
Yeah,
It was a little better.
It was.
And even then, your Penguins team should have beat them in the first round last year.
Yeah, in 5, 6, and 7.
But that's the thing, though.
The
But
gamers
that's the
came
thing.
out and they made big plays,
Yeah.
and they ended up. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, they have that. When they go up 2-0, I'm like, they might sweep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, they've had that experience last year. They went through it, and now they forgot how hard it is to win, especially in the first round.
Yeah.
They threw everything at us last year. Everybody was battered, beaten up, and they got through it, and then they got through the next round.
Yeah.
The loss of Sid the Kid changed that series.
That's for
big
sure.
time. He
For
was
sure.
a friggin' monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
he's
that.
good.
I've heard
Good.
that. Do we have time, Bree, to do the Quenneville thing really quick?
Yeah.
Let's do it really quick because it hasn't taken long for the rumor mill to get into the action this week. Here's Darren Dreger. Joel Quenneville hasn't been officially cleared by the National Hockey League. A formal interview request will likely encourage the commissioner's approval, while existing coaching vacancies and speculation around the New York Rangers. Q's return to a bench is a strong possibility. What do you make of that?
I will be really surprised if Joel Quenneville isn't the coach of the Rangers next year. I think there's been a little bit of a rift between the management team and the coaching staff, particularly Gerard Gallant, who I think is a terrific person and has been a really good coach in this league. He took Vegas to the final. He took the Rangers to the Final Four. But when you have that kind of internal rift that goes on, a difference of opinion, things change. And the Rangers lost in the first round. They've got guys under significant money contracts. They expected to do more. I expect that, and I wouldn't be surprised even if by the end of the week they make the coaching announcement that there's going to be a change. And I think Joel Quenneville is the #1 candidate on a list of 1. And they are going to do everything they can to make sure that they can
Get the league's
approval to bring him in. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think I'll be surprised if he's not the guy.
You had him.
Mm-hmm.
What was your
In Florida.
experience with Coach Q?
Oh,
in
I love
Florida?
Joel. He's great. He's been around. He's coached a lot. He's got a lot of wins.
Yeah.
And I
3
really,
cups.
I hadn't really enjoyed my time with him. Look, I don't know what they're going to do. That tweet had so many different hypotheticals. Like, no offense, Driggs. Like, I know you're just trying to get the news out there.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to being in the media.
I'm like, well, this and that. Okay. And then someone.
There's some hoops that have to be jumped
Yeah, and look,
for this to happen.
Yeah.
he did a lot with that group in New York, Gerard Gallant.
He did. He's a good
did a lot
coach.
with all these different groups. He did
Yeah.
a lot in Florida. He did a lot in Vegas, but that's the bright lights.
That's
in the
the
big
business.
city. Yeah,
That's the
You know what I
business.
mean? You got to win.
Yeah.